So here's good old CalPERS. We're thinking in 70-year cycles because we're a pension fund. There is a plan. We don't need this, bombing of Pearl Harbor. There is a plan which has been broadly agreed through the creative chaos of the intergovernmental meetings. And there's an important one which was mentioned coming up in Paris in December. So in the run-up to Paris, there is this plan for what needs to be done by each government, number one, and what needs to happen by sector. And if you look, there's some, rather attractive and easy to understand charts that the World Development Report has put together, which show in a sort of colourful way what would happen to world temperature if you just have business as usual. Then we go, 4 degrees, 6, 8, 10. That's not, you said a threat to the business model. Well, I don't think of myself and my children as a business model, but it's more or less a threat to human survival, certainly humans thriving. But what this maps out very nicely in the World Development Report, and they did this work a while back in 2010, is how do we get to that 2 degrees temperature and maintain it over this 30-year period? And they chunk it out as follows. Say, okay, well, one chunk will be dealt with through energy efficiency. And that's very nice for companies because it's typically a way that you cut costs. Another chunk is going to be tackled through the continuing development of renewables, which are getting cheaper, more available, and that's another bit. Another chunk is carbon capture, another chunk is carbon sequestration, and nuclear has a little role in their vision of the future, and fossil fuels dribble out their reserves over quite a long period, because the ecosystem globally has the capacity to absorb an amount of carbon. It's not that suddenly photosynthesis grinds to a halt, or oceans can't absorb anything at all. It's just the quantity and the pacing of that carbon emission that needs to be controlled. So that plan's there. I think what we want to do as a global investor who's part of all those sectors is make sure that the strategies of those companies and the people running those companies actually line up with that plan. Because there might be short-term opportunities for arbitrage and profit-taking and all that great stuff, but over the long term, for everyone, the system won't survive. We need to be thinking in a joined-up thinking between sectors and across time, but it's very doable. This is not. I'm not in a doom and gloom mode about this, but it does mean investors paying attention. So everybody who's a saver, through a pension, through a 401k, through a mutual fund, really hold your manager's feet to the fire, because you ultimately are the owners of this system. And if we want it to work for everyone, which we can make it work, we need far more accountability in the financial markets.